Hey boys, welcome back to another Cricket 19 discussion type video. Unfortunately, there hasn't been anything new or drastic in the last couple of days, and I was sort of just keen on making another video, honestly. And the one thing I hadn't really talked too much about is the screenshots. Obviously, you guys probably have all seen the screenshots, you know, and all the stuff that they've released so far, but I haven't actually delved into any sort of like things we can pick up or talking points about them. There's not too much, but I want to just go through the main screenshots here, talk a little bit about them, and any little minor details we can pick up on or stuff like that. And we start off with our man, the GOAT, Nathan Lyon. And I mean, let's be honest, the one thing that stands out drastically is the level of detail that's far and away better. Like, I thought Ash's cricket that got released, the last cricket game, I thought it looked very good. Like, the players that were face scanned in, and then even like a lot of the creative players were still excellent. Like, the academy provided very good tools to edit pictures or edit players. I don't know what I'm talking about, but the level of detail in this, I mean, we can see the vein in Lyon's head there, like his face. It honestly, it looks excellent. And also, even from this image, it looks like I was looking at this one and it looks like we've got a couple of like Roosters supporters in the back. Obviously, it's not Rooster jersey, but it just sort of stood out to me. But that's a little thing to point out. Like the people in the ground, they all look fairly different. Like you know, a lot of diversity and a lot of, like, obviously it's very blurry, but you can tell like it's a lot of different looking people, which, you know, just adds to it a little bit. But just the player models as well look a lot better. They just look more realistic. They don't look as, I guess, blocky as previous games have been. Last game, it was pretty solid, I thought, the player models, but this game, I mean, it's obviously just a step above. Not too much else to say in this one. You go into the next screenshot here, Usman Khawaja, a beautiful cover drive, maybe a little bit squarer than that, but I mean, it looks good, man. Like the bat model, the bat detail looks excellent. Excuse me. And just the shot in general, like it's far and away better. Also, the grass looks excellent. I think Big Ant, like, it's funny because Big Ant, I remember probably their best looking grass was Rugby League Live 3. If you go back and like look at footage of Rugby League Live 3, the grass and just sort of the grounds, I don't know what it was about that game, but it looked so good. And just this one, I don't know, the detail in the grass looks, in my opinion, it looks substantially better than the last Ashes game. This shot animation looks excellent. You can see he's like watching the ball. Actually, I can't really remember off the top of my head if they probably did that in the last game, but it just looks a lot smoother. Obviously, these are they're obviously screenshots, so you know, you can't, they're obviously going to pick the best looking ones and they're going to try to make it look as good as possible, let's be honest. But yeah, I mean, you can't really fake the shot. I mean, just the shot just looks good. But I guess the other point about that is the cover drive and the square drive were always pretty good in the last Ashes game. I thought they probably weren't the ones that needed the most work on. I want to see like how mainly the cut shot, but I don't know, just the way the back foot is like raised, a little bend in the knee. It looks very good, I've got to be honest. I'll move on to here. Paddy Cummins, a bit to talk about in this one. I mean, first off, again, like the player model, player detail looks excellent. The outfield looks sublime, looks very, very nice, very lush. Probably playing in England, which is, you know, they do have very nice outfields, so to be expected. But the one big talking point, probably everyone has picked up, this bowling animation looks very, very similar to Patrick Cummins' real bowling animation. Obviously, again, it's a screenshot. We don't see the full, work in progress, but just the way he's loading up for the delivery, it's, that's Patrick Cummins' bowling animation. So, that I think, oh God, I'm pretty sure there were a couple, I know people kept saying that, people in the forums and stuff, they keep saying that Ashes cricket, the last Ashes game, didn't have any, they only had the one bowling animation and one, this and that, but that's not actually true. You could select a couple of different bowling animations, but it was pretty bare bones, pretty minimal, so I don't know how many we're gonna get. I would love to see, all of the main, the main Australian bowlers, the main England bowlers, and then I don't know if they could just get they should just honestly they should just get a couple of young players, not international players, but a couple of decent young kids to come in, maybe 20 years old, so they're the proper size and stuff, but to come in and use their bowling actions in the game. Can you imagine that? They just I would do it, dude, if they were I don't know, sent out a thing, come to the studio this time, you can come in, have a bowl, and we'll put your bowling action in the game. How good would that be? I don't know. I don't even know if that's really possible. I'm sure it would obviously take a long time to actually get the motion capture done for all the players, and they probably don't want to waste their time with actions they don't want to see in the game, or don't sort of translate well to the game. But I don't know, I feel that could have been a cool sort of addition. Just have a bunch of amateur cricketers, young amateur cricketers come in and just get a heap of different animations, a heap of different but a heap of bowling styles into the game. I personally, that would have been pretty cool. But I mean, I would expect the main bowlers for the two international teams. And then, yeah, we'll see any other surprises. Move on to here. It's Joe Root with his New Balance. Again, the bat quality looks excellent. Obviously, bring out the main point here is he's taken his helmet off for the 100. We're assuming it's the 100 anyway, because I still can't believe. I'm not, honestly, in all fairness, I'm not going to give them too much credit for this. The fact he's taking his helmet off for the 100. I'm still a little bit shocked that the last game, the 100 celebration was just so much of a letdown. I'm not someone that cares too much about that sort of stuff, but it was literally just, they put the bat up, the camera did a little 360 or whatever it did, and that was it. The most common celebrations for a cricketer getting 100 is taking the helmet off. It was what? Why is he not taking the helmet off? So they've put it into this game, which is obviously good. And I mean, again, I say it all the time, but I'm not different celebrations and stuff. I'm not a huge it's not gonna make or break the game for me, but I know a lot of people care about it, and it can add some good little depth to it and some uniqueness when different players score big. So it'd be cool if, they had different celebrations, and I feel that would be a pretty simple thing to put into the game. Because I was actually thinking about this today. I'm celebrations are not trademarked, right? They're not licensed. For instance, if they were just to put in, if someone got 100 and the celebration was David Warner-esque, jumping up in the air, fist bump, the works, that sort of thing, very David Warner-like. It's not his license. They wouldn't. It's not they would have to pay David Warner for it. That's. I don't know. I feel they could take a lot of that sort of stuff. Even Chris Gale, his sort of new celebration he's been doing lately, the old helmet on the the handle of the bat when he scores big. You know, just little stuff like that. I feel like it's something easy, and it's not. I don't know. Maybe there are like issues with doing that, but I just, in my head, it's like they're not. You can't trademark a celebration. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. You know, the next screenshot here is actually one of the more promising ones, in my opinion. Again, Johnny Bairstow, Tim Payne behind the stumps look very good. Just the quality in these screenshots are very, very nice. The kits, all that sort of stuff. If like the boots, honestly, the freaking boots stand out the most at how nice they look. But the shot looks good. It actually looks like a front foot sort of. Obviously, it's against a spinner, so it's a bit of a front foot pull shot, shortish ball, and you couldn't really you couldn't do that in the last Ashes game, like a front foot hit to like mid wicket square leg. Like, it just didn't happen in the last game. If you're facing a spin bowler and you played like back foot like to the square leg, he would like play a glance, or like, you know, back foot glance, and if you played off the front foot, it would be like a front foot glance. You would never like do a shot like this. So obviously that means there's going to be more shot animations in the game, which is nice. But the other main thing I see is the wicket keeping from Tim Payne. Now again, it's a screenshot. We don't see like the full extent, but wicket keeping has definitely been one of the trickiest aspects to get sort of looking realistic and not having weird little glitches and stuff like that. But right here, Tim Payne, it looks pretty solid. I mean, he's keeping low, his gloves, obviously the ball is like left the bat like a little bit ago, so the gloves haven't like gone well in front of the stumps or anything silly like that. He's still in the position, you know, head down. It just looks a lot smoother. Obviously it's a still image, like I keep saying, but it just looks smoother. You know, I do want to see when sort of the ball comes in, does he like run over the stumps and like mark his footwork up and stuff. But I mean, this looks very promising, just the fact that he's staying in the position. Obviously the shot's only just been played, and it just looks like proper cricket, you know. That's that's basically what we want. As we move on, I think this is the last. I know there's a couple more actually. So this one is pretty cool as well. This one's interesting because obviously Joe Root, James Anderson once again. I don't know what I don't know. This might just be a little, you know, pre-release little bug or something. I don't know. Just the stuff on Anderson's arms or arm there. I don't know. I wouldn't read too much into that. I'm sure it'll be fixed up for the game's release. Don't I wouldn't worry too much, but obviously just a little thing to point out. But you can see them. They're like, you know, moving the field, changing the field and stuff like that. Root looks like he's, I don't know what he's doing with his arms there, but it just looks like, I don't know, it does look natural. Like, it looks very, very natural for how players sort of interact at the top of the mark. Now, the thing that was interesting to me is I was wondering, like, is this sort of like a cut scene? Does this happen like every so often? If you go to like select the field, you know, the captain walks up or something and it's like a little cutscene between the players, or is it just natural? Like, let's say you go back to the mark and while you're sort of waiting to bowl, maybe the captain can walk over to you and do it. Like, that's sort of the interesting thing. Like, are they going to add like sort of little cutscenes throughout the game to sort of make it a little bit more immersive? I think that's one thing that's been a little bit poor in the cricket games, has been sort of the replay system as well. This is a little bit off topic, but the replay system, after you do like a nice shot, just I don't know, it takes too long. Like, this, it slows it down, but then it doesn't really show the highlight until like a little bit into it. Like, if you get what I'm saying, like, it slows it down, but then you have all this like nothingness and then it finally happens. Like, just the replay system in general during a game is like pretty bad in my opinion for the previous games. So we'll see if they work on that. But then, are they going to be, like I've been talking about, cutscenes? similar to this, because obviously there are in the last game there were cutscenes between batters when you got like a 50, when you had like a 50-run partnership, you know, little things like that. So that might be what it is for the bowlers now. We'll get a little bit of that, but yeah, it's a nice little touch. Whatever it is, if it is cutscenes or if it just naturally happens during play, it's just a nice little addition. I mean, it's stuff that people like in their sports games. They like the authenticity, they like the depth. Obviously the gameplay is the most important, but all these little touches on top really sort of bring it together. As we got, this is the last screenshot I've got. There were a couple more. I think there was one with like the full stadium, but it was like there wasn't really much to sort of look at there. So this one, obviously Ben Stokes. Actually, I just can't understand people. Someone actually put like a comment on the forum. He said something like the screenshots look awesome apart from this one, and he was like, I don't know who this is meant to be, but blah blah blah. He made like some sort of like joke about it, and it was like, what are you talking about? Like, I think this is like an excellent Ben Stokes. I don't know. I mean, people were sort of having a go at his hair was a little bit too strong in this, which, okay, that might be the only thing, but some people are just, you just can't please them. Like, I just couldn't believe it. The only thing that might be wrong is like the hair is a little bit too full. That's it. But again, like, you got the Under Armour there with the bowling tattoos, obviously, in the game. Not too much else to really talk about. Again, like the player models and stuff just look substantially better. Yeah, not much else to really say. You got the crowd in the background here. They're all sort of looking at different things. Something's going on in the left there. These young fellas here are enjoying it. But yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. Just sort of going through the screenshots, any little details we could pick up on and discuss. Hopefully we get, I'm expecting a trailer pretty soon. I mean, the game releases in 2 months, so personally I think we're probably going to get a trailer, and then they're going to release the Academy, or like a PC demo pretty soon. That's sort of my hunch, and that's what I'm hoping for sure. It will make the wait substantially easier if we get sort of a demo for the PC, and they've done it with the last couple of games, so it's I think it's fairly not a sure thing, but it's definitely on the cards, I would say. I wouldn't bank on it, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this little video here. Look forward to many more to come in the lead up, and then obviously, I mean, I saw a couple of people comment like, "Oh, you're gonna play?" It's so weird, dude. But a couple of people ask me like, "Are you gonna play like a crew mode when the game releases?" And yes, the answer is obviously yes. I will do a crew mode when the game releases, and I'll definitely be uploading videos. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, and I'll see you in the next one.